In this video, we're talking about coffee competitions. Welcome, my name is Patrick Rolf and this is Coffee with April. For this episode, we want to give you a little bit of recap of the weekend because we've been involved in the Danish Coffee Championships, both competing and a little bit of judging as well. We also want to share a little bit of the latest updates on what is actually happening here. You know, we're building our new kind of YouTube video studio. So that's why we're moving around a little bit in this location. Right now, we're standing in what is the office. And I'm sure we're going to show you that a little bit more detailed at some point in the future. So long story short, Barista Championship, I myself competed in the Danish competition for the first time when it comes to barista, which was quite interesting. I made a move from Sweden to Denmark mainly because April is a Danish company. It's where it was founded. I'm Swedish myself, but I've been in Denmark long enough to compete. And frankly, we're at a point where as a competitor, you want to favor or look for competition organizations that are able to execute really good events. And Denmark is great when it comes to both hosting the event. SCA Denmark did a great job. Take the judges in, get the right judges in, which is so important for the quality of that competition. And there's also a wide range of competitors. So let's, call this a competition video. That's kind of what it will be. Me going up in the Barista Championship again is something that I went a little bit forth and back with. We've been quite busy this year. Origin trips as always during this season. Building a new roastery space, which is maybe one of the largest projects I've done so far. Next week, we're doing a little bit of visits in Singapore, Cebu, Manila, running around Asia a bit to visit some people there, do some new projects, meet all of you, which is really exciting. So, we've been busy, and whenever you compete, that will take a fair amount of time. But at the same time, not competing is putting you in a situation where it's going to be harder to maintain that quality. And I'm always really interested in how we can make our coffee better. So for me, it's a natural process to kind of continue down that path. Now, when it came to this presentation, we structure things a little bit differently here. Some of you probably see what I've done in Melbourne. Melbourne was very variety-based. This time I actually made a presentation that was a little bit more processing-based, which is a little bit unusual for me, but it's mainly because anaerobic fermentation or innovative processing methods of any shape and form is interesting. It's something that you don't see a lot from us here at April, and I think there is definitely a clear distinction in quality in a lot of these different categories. And I wanted to bring a presentation to the competition scene that was actually featuring a coffee that's gone through an anaerobic fermentation with added yeast, but has been done in a way where it maintained the integrity of the farm and the varietal. And those kind of coffees I think is interesting. We're going to continue to feature them every once in a while here at April. And it was, for me, fun to kind of build a new concept. It's important when you compete to not do the same thing again and again and again. It becomes a little bit repetitive, and in the end of the day, competing is about communicating something new. So, interesting process. We ended up winning, which was fun. It's always an interesting process. You never really know what you're getting yourself into, and I can't stress enough how difficult espresso brewing is in any shape or form. It's very rare, I think, for any competitor, I'm sure most people would agree, that you go up on that stage being 100% confident that your coffee will taste the way you want to, because usually it doesn't. And that's kind of part of the charm and the excitement that comes with that competition. So now I'm off to Athens to do something a little bit different. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while, competition-wise, and I feel now I have the opportunity to do it. Obviously, Athens is right around the corner, so it's kind of time to put in that next gear and go into competition mode more or less directly, which is going to be really interesting, and I'm kind of looking forward to that process. And I want to also take this video and the opportunity to kind of mention something that we saw in Denmark. We see it in a lot of different countries in terms of competitions around the world as well, is people dropping out last minute from competitions, not enough people signing up. It's clear and has been clear for some time now that people have a really strange perspective or different perspective to competitions. And I think it's become, or we are in this situation where it's hard for people to sign up. It's hard for people to sign up, to execute and actually do it. Dropouts is really difficult for any competition anywhere, both in terms of organization and for the other competitors. So it's very important that when we sign up, we actually execute, we do it. It's not always about winning. It's also about experience, becoming better, and meeting the community of competitors that are there. I myself started to compete before I even worked with coffee. And I'm going to argue that's a big reason for why I am where I am today, because of the people I met. One, because they inspire you, and two, because they're going to challenge you. And that's what's going to be interesting in this industry, right? So for all of you out there that are thinking about competing, haven't competed, or are questioning whether they should compete again, just do it. It's really that simple. Just do it, be deliberate, be consistent, ask people that have done it before so that you can kind of check off a lot of the boxes you need to check off. It's still a system you need to understand to be able to deliver the scores you're looking for. But keep in mind, there's a lot of value in these competitions that isn't just based on winning. For sure not. And in the end of the day, there's only one winner. So most people lose, right? So it's important to identify those values and realize that they're just as important, right? So we want to see more competitors. We have to. It's good for the industry. It's good for you. If you're in the industry, it's going to make you better. Judge, compete, do whatever, but get involved in the competitions, because in the end of the day, that's the perfect spot to kind of hone those skills and just elevate whatever you want to do in the coffee world. So yes, long story short, that became a little bit long as usual. Competitions are important. I'm happy to be a part of them. We just did the Danish Championships, and we're looking forward to the World Championships. And as always, if anyone has any questions that are competition related or brewing related, whatever, just comment below. We're always super happy to share the little amount of knowledge that we have in any kind of shape or form. Obviously, we have a Patreon, and there is where we kind of share the behind the scenes stories. So if you want to know extraction times, if you want to know roast degrees and stuff like that on competition coffees, that's where you sign up. And especially now for the World Championships, that's where a lot of the details are going to come up. So with that, we just want to thank you for watching, remind you to compete. Compete makes you better. Forget about everything else. It makes you better, win or lose. It's just a good thing to do. And thank you for watching, and have a good day. We want to give a special thank you to all of our Patreon supporters. It's because of you that we are able to continue to make these videos. And we want you all to feel free to always come with suggestions and ideas on the content that you want to see, because we are doing this for you and because of you. Thank you from all of us here at April.